Let's have a look at shares in Organigram Global, the cannabis player. The stock did move up today. Revenue in the latest quarter beating estimates. You can see the shares still down almost 30%, though, in the past year. But revenue soaring north of $100 million in the latest quarter, up from less than $60 million a year ago. And it did beat estimates, coming in the net revenue ahead of expectations. So we're joined now by the CEO, Beena Goldenberg. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about your latest acquisition in the United States, a beverage company, and it's psychoactive. So we will get you stoned, to put it that way, the drinks they make. But what is the company you're buying, and what's the interesting legal wrinkle here?
Right. So we acquired Collective Project. We acquired it March 31st. So we're pretty excited about getting into cannabis beverages.
Yes.
In Canada, there'll be THC beverages that are sold through the cannabis retail, although we do believe that regulations are going to change and allow us to expand outside of the cannabis retail stores, maybe in liquor stores.
Oh.
There are certainly talks happening with provincial governments about making that change, and we're hoping that regulation will expand the market. But most importantly, the Collective Project brought us revenue in the U.S., and the product in the U.S. is hemp-derived, Delta-9 products, so it is THC, but coming out of hemp. And they're infused in these products. Now, Collective Project is now available in 10 states in the U.S. We will have a direct-to-consumer website that starts up this month that will go. And the hemp-derived beverages in the U.S. take advantage of the 2018 Farm Bill. There was a loophole that allowed up to 0.3% THC by dry weight in products sold that aren't under the Schedule I issue that cannabis is. And so these products are out in market in liquor stores, grocery stores, even convenience stores in the U.S. So it's a pretty exciting opportunity. And just today, CNN reported that in top 10 liquors, the THC hemp-derived beverages are 15% of their sales. This is a market that is $1 billion in sales right now in the U.S. and estimated to get to $4 billion in the next 3 years.
Sorry, who was that reported it was 15%?
That's top 10 liquors.
Yes.
So that's where they're carrying the hemp-derived beverages in their stores.
Oh, this is a retail chain.
This is a retail chain.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is that they're seeing alcohol consumption come down, but these hemp-derived beverages are more than making up for that loss.
And what about the strength of these beverages in terms of THC, if you were to compare them, these ones for sale in America, with the ones for sale in Canada?
Right. So it depends on the state. There's different regulations. So in Minnesota, you could get up to 10 milligrams of THC in those hemp-derived beverages, similar to what you have in Canada.
Okay.
But in states like Florida, they just passed the cap at 5 milligrams. Of lower. So this is something, there is a bit of a regulation. You have to watch state by state. There's different rules, but any one of the markets, Minnesota is a big market, Florida is a big market, Texas is a big market selling these products. So we're pretty excited to get into this space. How
much of your business now, or going forward, to use that lazy expression, but say now, will be recreational cannabis in Canada? What percentage?
No, it's the bulk of our business today is in Canada. This is we're just getting into the U.S. Of course, we had to be compliant with regulations, so you couldn't get into cannabis and itself, but the hemp-derived beverages opened this loophole for us to get in. We're pretty excited about having some revenue that will come from the U.S. But the bulk of our business is still from Canadian revenue. We have an growing international sales, export sales to Germany, Australia, UK. Our export business grew 177% this last quarter, so we're pretty excited about that. And we have forthcoming our EU GMP certification, which will allow us to ship faster to European markets moving forward.
Remind us, you have a big franchise in the bargain or the lower priced cannabis. Are you still a leader in that?
You know what? We have products in all consumer price points. So yes, a lot of volume and value, which is where the consumer are shopping. You know, those consumers are looking for a highest potency, lowest price. But we have a good, solid mainstream set of brands and some premium brands that we are also building on. So a nice portfolio to meet consumers at every price point where they're shopping. happening.
It looks like the market's been a bit hard on you. We've seen the stock down in the past year. There we have it, down almost 30%. Your market cap's something like $220 million,
Correct.
but you have $83 million in cash?
We actually have a strategic investment pool, $58 million of cash tied up to look at strategic investments and potential acquisitions in international markets. So we rebranded to Organigram Global over the last month, and really to talk about the fact that we have established ourselves as the market share leader in Canada, and it's now time to look at expansion globally. So investments in Germany, like we've done with Sanity Group, this collective project investment, which allows us to get into the U.S. market. We have strong export sales into Australia. So our focus is on international expansion, leveraging the strength we have in Canada as a branded leader.
Sorry, I don't want to get into accounting minutiae here, but it said total cash position of approximately $83.4 million.
Correct. Of that, $58 million is dedicated to this pool.
And
the rest is available for us to continue to drive our business growth. Now, remember, we just closed the collective project acquisition on the last day of the quarter. So money went out right at the last day. But we're pretty confident that we'll see strong cash flow from operations moving forward, as well as we built some significant working capital inventory going into our key seasonality. Key seasonality on cannabis starts 4/20 and runs through Labor Day. So we're well ready to take advantage of that.
What is that again? What's the availability?
No, it's when the key seasonality is. It's from 4/20.
Seasonality.
Yes, from 4/20 right through Labor Day. That's when we see the biggest growth, and we've built our inventory to be able to supply customers as required.
So it's a summer product in many ways.
In many ways, but people get to enjoy it when they're outdoors and in festivals and concerts, and we're really excited to take advantage of that opportunity.
Beena, thank you very much indeed.
You're very welcome.
Beena Goldenberg, CEO at Organigram Global. Up next, the US and China agreeing to slash tariffs for 90 days.